What's going on, Bucs fans? Welcome into the Bucs Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Reid Bartkus, and on today's show, we're going to look at the top 5 free agent targets for the Bucs heading into the offseason. Now, I've probably said this almost every video that I've done. Disappointing 2025 season, especially the end of it. And fair warning, the majority of these players, actually almost all of them, except I have a bonus one at the end, all of them are defense because the offense was okay. Okay is the word. It was okay. The defense, on the other hand, a lot of holes, a lot of injuries. So, the first one on the list is linebacker Quay Walker. He is currently on the Green Bay Packers, and he becomes a free agent next year. And I like Quay Walker. I've always liked Quay Walker. I think he's a solid linebacker that does his job, and he had 128 tackles this year, 2.5 sacks, 8 TFLs, and 5 PBUs. And, I mean, he's 6'4", 241. This is just your typical linebacker, and he makes plays. If you've ever watched the Packers game, he is everywhere. You'll hear the announcer say, "Oh, tackle made by Quay Walker," here and there. I think in the 2025 season, we just needed guys to make plays. Nobody was making plays, especially on the pass rush. I'm tired of seeing Yaya Diaby do a bull pass rush and get nowhere and no pressure on the quarterback. So he's number 5 for me. I think you just need some guys that can play football and make some plays. That's really what I'm looking for a lot of these guys on this list. So let's go to the next one. I know a lot of our needs right now on the defensive side of the ball. It doesn't necessarily say defensive line. I mean, more like linebacker, edge rusher type. But I think something that I've noticed in this year is we need a run stopper. And John Franklin Myers is a very good run stopper. He's a guy that will plug the middle up. And I talked to our Broncos Breakdown host, Trace Moustakis, and he said he has done very well this year in terms of getting pressure on the quarterback and getting sacks. So I think that is something that I value a lot right now on defense, and something that we're lacking in 2025 is that pressure on a quarterback. We got zero pressure. If you watched all of these games, the quarterback he's standing back here and he's like, all right, goes through one progression, 2, 3, and nobody's there. So I think Hassan Reddick, especially this year, has been, and last year, is just, it's not the Eagles Hassan Reddick that we thought we were going to get. Feels more like the Jets Hassan Reddick that we got. He didn't do terrible, but not what we were expecting, and we need somebody like John Franklin Myers just to get pass rush. Now, coming up, top 3 targets for the Bucs. These are my top 3 guys where if we really need to pick up somebody in free agency, these 3 guys are the ones that I really think they should go after. But it's not all about me on this show. It's mostly about you guys. So you name a free agent the Bucs should sign in 2026. I look at all the comments. I said this last video. I look at all the comments and I respond to you guys. And a lot of you guys have some great takes. So I want to hear from you guys. Who do you think the Bucs should sign in free agency in 2026? On to our next guy, Trey Hendrickson. I'm sure all of you have heard this name. He is currently on the Cincinnati Bengals. He had a contract dispute last year. He was expecting to get a lot more money than he actually did, but funny enough, the Bengals kind of broke. So they didn't have enough money to give him his contract, and so he had a little bit of a holdout, but he came back, and I think we can all say it was a little bit of a letdown. Obviously, missed some time, only 7 games played, but if you just take one look at 2024 and 2023, the guy led the season in sacks. 17.5 back-to-back years. That is unbelievable. That is something that we need on this team. Now, like I said, had a bit of a down year, and I think that happens every time a star player is holding out for a contract. I feel like their following year, never as good as we think it would be. But just a year ago, or I guess 2 years now if you're counting it, 17.5 sacks. That is something that is a huge hole on this team. The Bucs get no sacks. And like I said earlier, they get no pressure either. So a guy who's who's producing 17.5 sacks, that's a guy I want on my team. His contract, we can look at that later. We can figure it out. Next guy on the list, Jaelan Phillips. This is an interesting an interesting option here because he came from Miami and he went to Philly and he's on a 1-year deal there. He has been he's been doing very well for the Eagles, and I suspect him to have a huge role in their playoff run towards a back-to-back Super Bowl potentially. But I mean, he's your typical edge rusher. I was very upset, last year or 2 years ago, I think, when he tore his Achilles, and I mean that video was unbelievable. He thinks somebody stepped on his foot, but he's a great guy, great locker room presence, and just like I said, the typical edge rusher that this team needs. And like a lot of these guys, like linebacker, edge, that is where the holes are on this defense. And I feel like I've been repeating myself the entire video, but you just need guys that can get to the quarterback and make plays. I'm just going to keep saying that. And Jaelan Phillips, he's a guy that can do that for you. All right, last guy on the list. This is one of my favorites when I was looking up guys to put on this list for free agent targets. Devin Lloyd, man. He is exactly what this team needs. And I again, repeating myself, but this defense is it's lacking all of these stats that Devin Lloyd has. 81 tackles, 6 TFLs, 7 PBUs to 5 interceptions. 5 interceptions as a linebacker, not to mention his 99-yard pick 6 against Patrick Mahomes. The guy makes plays, and he is a big play disruptor. And I think that's the biggest thing that happened on defense in 2025 was, I mean, go back to the Miami game. You're playing against Quinn Ewers and his first 2 touchdowns. It's a break in the defense and just an unbelievable hole. And you can't have that going forward. So I think Devin Lloyd is my number 1 option for the Bucs to get in free agency. Like I said in the beginning of the video, a bonus target, the Atlanta Falcons tight end, Kyle Pitts. I know, might rub some of you the wrong way, NFC South rivalry with the Atlanta Falcons, but I know all of you watching right now, hopefully, you're fans of this team. You know Quay, he's not it. We know he's not it. He had a breakout, crazy game against the Carolina Panthers to somehow, I think he was like 94 yards, just under 100 yards, and I know it was wet, but that was an off game. He's not the guy. Kyle Pitts, his last 4 games, he did very, very well on the Atlanta Falcons. So I think this is a guy that if they don't franchise tag him, you really need to look in on this offense and say, is Cade Otton going to be the guy, or are we going to go draft someone? I think Kyle Pitts is a name that you got to keep in mind. All right. Thank you so much for watching that whole video. This is my 3rd video. My name is Reid Bartkus. I'm the host of this channel, and if we hit 1,000 subs, we can do even more videos, get more studio time, because it's a brand new channel. So, it's a little bit lower on the priority list of things that are going on here at Chat Sports, but we're at 263 right now. Shout out to you guys and everyone watching. I really, really appreciate it. I love doing this, and I can't wait to give you guys more Bucs videos. So we need 737 to get to 1,000, and it's a race to 1,000. We got a bunch of other new channels that have started here, so I'm trying to be the first one to get to 1,000. So if you guys could do that, that would be absolutely amazing. And while you're down there, hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. And as always, fire the cannons.